Oh, dope. All right. Hey, welcome everybody. Welcome back to the loading screen. Another episode where me and Phemeto like to sit around, drink beers, and just really talk about all things about video games and kind of talk a little bit of shit. If you're here right now, you're probably going to get polarized one way or another because we're definitely going to give some divisive opinions over some video games that have recently been released since there's not too much going on in the Monster Hunter world right now as we all wait for Alatreon. So, that being said, let me turn it over to my heterosexual life mate, Phemeto.
Thank you, Jen, and happy Father's Day to you,
Hey,
Mr.
thanks, man.
Father of Two, and all you other fathers out there who are still doing your gaming nonsense, like Grifted and soon-to-be Cups, and everyone else that I can't remember their names of. Yeah.
Shout out to all the 420 no scopes over 30.
Yeah. Nice. Happy Father's Day to everyone. Yeah, we're gonna be talking about our normal shit and some not so normal shit. So we'll just get into this thing. So, Jin, you want to show off what you're going to be drinking today?
Yeah, so we got some home style stuff here. And by home style, I mean just close to my heart. Goose Island 312. This is a Chicago-based beer. And now that I'm living back here, I'm just kind of, sampling the good life. And I am absolutely enjoying it. So
wait, when did you move? I forgot if you moved recently.
Yeah, I moved down here just because when I quit my job, we're living down here kind of hiding out from the corona.
Yeah, I get you. But when did you move? Was it like 2 months
February?
Ago?
Like, no, it was April.
Okay,
like
so
right
just a
before
couple months ago. Okay, yeah. I forgot. Cool. Good old Chicago. How the riots doing over there?
Fucking nuts. Nuts. Like, I think if you guys haven't seen the stuff on Facebook, like, legit, like, snipers on top of vans. Like, I mean, that's what's up. That's what everyone's doing.
Would you rather be in Chicago or over in Washington at the Fallout dehumanized zone, where the fuck that is?
Oh, Chaz? You mean in Seattle?
Yeah, the Chaz. This straight Fallout shit over there, dude.
Like, that's a whole other conversation that we can kind of like get into and probably get in trouble one way or the other. I don't know. We can have that kind of conversation. I'm all about tearing down things, people, metaphorically, things that need to be fixed. I think, realistically, everyone wants a peaceful solution, but there's a reason that the U.S. military has the biggest military in the entire world. He who has the power
gets to make the rules.
Exactly. So you don't want to like really talk about that, but that's the reality of it. So at the same time, everyone sometimes gets this so torn opinion on what's going on. Regardless of, how you're looking at this, you've got to understand that like people are really, really, really taking this to the next level, and even speaking up. Like, you're opening up to just basically being in the crossfire.
Yeah.
So
I blame social media.
Yeah, absolutely. Even on this video, like, I'm gonna be completely cool, and I'm not gonna go one way or the other on some things, just because I'm definitely not having any of that stuff showing up. Because I'm no punk bitch. I'll tell you right now, anybody shows up near me, it won't be a conversation. It's not even a discussion. So that's just a whole different conversation, and that's not internet talk. That's just a guy with a rap sheet for beating people up, I guess. We'll just go with that route.
Yes, you definitely have the rap sheet for that.
Yeah, anyway. We'll just go that route. So, cheers to
Chicago's not so bad, huh?
Well, I'm married to, a minority, and I've got 2 mixed kids, and, I've been arrested for beating up people for using the N-word and dumb shit like that. But at the same time, I don't think the answer is to kill cops. At the same time, cops have been killing people for 30 years and getting away with it and protecting each other. And while I understand the need to sometimes law has to be, law, you need to have it to control chaos. There's no way that you could justify the corruption that's gone on. There's no way you could justify the erasure, I mean, it's genocide. It's genocide. I mean, like, you could say like, oh, cops kill just as many white people and whatever, and list some statistic. Like, it's stupid as hell. Like, that's the dumbest shit I've ever heard. I don't need stats when I've lived it myself, where I can tell you that like cops do dumb shit. Like, they definitely target people. I don't know how the system works. I'm not in it. I couldn't tell you. I can tell you definitely that if you have a rap sheet they target you.
Yeah.
There's no fucking doubt about that. Like if you're in the system, they want you to be in the system. It's a wild time right now because I got a lot of buddies who went to school who became police officers. I myself, for those of you that don't know, I went to school because I wanted to be a police officer. Went to college because I wanted to be a police officer. I actually wanted to be a profiler, studying psychology, and I wanted to like study the criminal mind. Very, very vastly interested.
That's
in
what my
how it
sister
works.
does.
Dude, it's a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful profession because understanding it helps you just kind of really helps you get a good viewpoint. Like, I mean, I think because I've probably been on all sides of the spectrum, so to speak, I probably can kind of like take myself out of it and just say, hey, how would I view it if I was here? How would I view it if I was here? And I think that's where a lot of people aren't able to have their conversations. Then again, right now, people shouldn't be speaking up on some shit. Like right now, like this is the time to act. Like we've pushed the needle. So like regardless of how it was, however it happened, like let's talk about today, you know, 6/21/2020, where we're at right now. The needle is pushed all the way, you know what I'm saying? It's got to go all the way over. We can't just, hey,
it can't fall back. We can't fall back into how we were, basically.
No, we can't. Yeah. It can't be like, well, in 3 months we still have, you know, African Americans getting shot.
Well, and that's the thing I am afraid of is I'm afraid that people are so active just because of the lockdown and there's not a whole lot going on, and this is a good thing to get people out and active and doing something, and that once everyone has to go back to work and everything opens up, that all this is just going to be kind of blown over, and then we're just going to fucking repeat ourselves. That is the worst thing that could happen, and I'm afraid that that might be the case. I hope it's not. I hope that, you know, people keep pushing it and, you know, we actually get some static change.
I think I think, you know, repeating it, you know, I wasn't part of whatever the fuck a lot of this dumb shit was. Like, you'll never see me out there trying to shine people's shoes or whatever the fuck the CEO or Chick-fil-A said. Because guess what? I didn't do fucking anything wrong. Ask anyone who ever met me, trust me. Not an issue. I have no guilt. I don't feel shit at all. I'm not one of those dudes who uses the N-word when my buddies aren't. When my black friends aren't around my white friends. I'm not that dude that says, oh, there's a difference between the two. I don't say any of that dumbass shit. So again, there ain't shit in my fucking heart. Like none of that shit. Like I don't even know how to process that, man. Like I couldn't help them. All I know is the people that are acting right now. There's two groups. There's the group that wants to change, and then there's a group that's being funded by, you know, whatever side group you want to say, alt-left, alt-right, however it is. I mean, people are pushing an agenda right now, you know what I mean? Like, you don't have 50 bajillion pallets of bricks show up at 50 cities nationwide, just sitting there at every riot site, and then everyone's like, oh yeah, like, what the fuck? Like, I'm sorry, like, let's just be realistic and know that obviously someone orchestrated something. It doesn't matter
people
who
are instigating. Yeah,
people are being shitty as fuck. People are taking this as an opportunistic time to cause chaos, cause smash shit. Like, I mean, if you want to tell me that you're going to go break down a police department because it caused a bunch of fucked up problems in your area, well, I mean, shit, you're dealing with corruption. Now, if you're telling me you're raiding out on, like, Gucci and, like, Nike and that kind of shit, like, that's a whole other conversation. Like, I don't know. I don't know how that deals with it, but I'll leave that conversation for someone else. But the idea of tearing down something that needs to be fixed, I'm completely aligned with that. You know what I'm saying?
Fair.
And you know, people get so caught up in just dumb ass shit and like trying to like get behind a statement or like something else or get against a statement or however you want to look at that shit. Like, that's the stupidest thing ever. Like, that's the dumbest shit ever. Like, just take care of people, keep your fucking head down. If you don't want to, if you're finding a way to continue without to help out without, you know, going out there and smashing rocks and shit, good. That's great, because then you're finding a way to protest, and that's what all the forefathers want and every big leader wants and that kind of stuff. If you find a reason that you got to go occupy 6 feet of the country because you got to do something to make a statement, I don't know, maybe that's the right way too. I don't know, because right now we're at the point where things are like right here and they just got to go all the way over. I can't tell you what the right way is to go from here. Smarter people than me are got to be the ones to do it.
I'll tell you what though, man, the rest of this year is going to be interesting. This is one hell of a year.
How the fuck are we going to go anywhere from here like ever again? We've had the most insane shit this year, like
everything. Every fucking month there's just something new. Something.
That's what I don't understand. Like there is something every month, but just to be clear, like police shooting black people has been around for like 30 years. Like it's nothing.
No,
It's
right.
just being filmed now. Like now it's just being recorded all the time.
Of,
Like it's
of
been
course.
a problem. I'm 35 years old. Like it's been going on since I was like 11. I could remember.
It's been going on since we started this damn country. Well, it's been going on. It's just humans. We've been doing this shit forever.
I'm just saying, like my first experience, like with an adult, like with racism. I think I was like 11. Hanging out with a bunch of my black friends. Like I think I was like 11. I don't want to get into it because it's kind of fucked up, but like I remember it like that. Like so, it's been around for a fucking long time, and I mean with like police officers and people in authority. Like there is definitely a fucking bias on some shit. Like it's fucked up, man.
Mm-hmm.
Cheers to change.
Cheers.
Figure it out. I'm here for it. Let's go.
Yeah, it can only get better, right?
Mm-hmm. I don't know, man. It's gonna get better.
I mean, if it gets much worse, we're going to be in an apocalypse state. So if it's not that, then we're going to get better. Hopefully.
It's fucking nuts, man. It's fucking
crazy.
nuts that that's where we're at right now. Like we're really at a point where people are going fucking insane and like fighting each other. Like that's the thing. Like I thought they were like the idea was to tear down the system or whatever the mechanism that needs to be removed is. But now like people are like infighting more and more on the news. And then maybe that's just the media just highlighting that too. But even just talking to my friends, like I see them on social media, like getting into shit with like their other friends, and then like divisions fighting. Like
mass media is devolving us.
Yeah,
it's having to listen to everybody's shit all the time. We just can't, dude. We got to detach ourselves.
I'm only on Twitter for video game stuff.
I mean, same. I don't watch the news. I'm not a part of the whole Twitter stuff. I hate social media in general. I'm not a phone person. That's also a thing. I don't like being on my phone. I hate my phone. People that know me, I never answer my phone. I fucking hate it. So I've never gotten that stuff. But yeah. Anyway, I didn't get to show my drink because we kind of devolved into that political spiel for a bit.
Oh, my bad.
But I'm still drinking wine. Grizzly Republic wine from here in Paso. It's my stuff. And I'm moving in like 2 weeks, and I have like 300 bottles of wine, and I don't want to move all of it, so I'm trying to drink all of it.
Put them down.
Yeah, I'm doing like a bottle a day almost. It's been pretty fun. But yeah, so that's what we're doing in our personal lives. Let's get out of our fucking reality and get back into what we usually talk about. So let's start up with some Monster Hunter.
Monster Hunter.
Yeah, so we actually got some news.
Actually, wait, before we go into Monster Hunter, let's
okay.
Dude, let's do Last of Us.
Oh, okay, that's right, because let's do that.
Let's do Last of Us.
Okay, so I have never played Last of Us, just because, and so obviously I wasn't interested in Last of Us 2, and I'm just seeing the shitstorm that game is brought upon this world. So, Jin, you're gonna have to help explain to me what the fuck happened.
So, hey, the disclaimer. I'm about to cry. Like I'm not kidding. Like I'm about to cry.
Because it's bad, or
yeah.
Okay.
Like how much? Like right now, I am tearing up. Like you can see it.
For like, disappointment or what? What?
Dude. Like. Video games have been around since I was a kid, and they are a form of art.
Fair.
They're like, for me, it's everything. Like, my whole life revolves around video games. I use them to talk to my children. It's how I met my wife. It's how I met a lot of my friends. And it's because every now and then you find something that that's bigger than just the gameplay. Like you find a game that like you talk about or like inspires you to do something else, like legit actions. Like video games have inspired me to do things. Like they literally have.
Mm-hmm.
And The Last of Us, the first one, was easily like when you take it apart and you look at every aspect of it, it's not that good. Okay, the first Last of Us. If you look at like the stealth combat, it's probably better done in Metal Gear Solid or one of those iterations. If you look at the story, well, you know, a deeper story is found in like a JRPG or something like that. If you look at like the inventory system, well, you know, you could look at like Skyrim or something, or Dragon's Dogma. I don't know, just something that's got depth and whatever layers to it. But when you put it together, it's literally one of the best games that have come out in 30 years of gameplay across all genres. The game, when you play it, like, there's no way that you could tell me, if you're a gamer, that you would play The Last of Us 1, not enjoy it, and then not, like, want to talk about it to somebody. Like, it's that good. Like, the story with the gameplay and how the narrative evolves is fucking incredible. Mm-hmm. Like, it's beautiful. Like, the ending is so well done, because here you have a father who lost literally fucking everything. I'll tell you right now, you lose your daughter as a father, right? As a father, as someone who's got a 4-year-old daughter, I don't know how I'd make it through the next day. Like, just being straight up with you. And for that gameplay to, like, the way that they evolve the story. Day. What'd you say?
I said Happy Father's Day.
Hey, yeah, Happy Father's Day. Like, for that, the way that gameplay to come out, like, it hit on a lot of nerves with me. So I wanted to see that story all the way through. Like, I don't want to spoil it too much, because, I mean, I guess I could. It doesn't really.
Dude, I think everyone that was interested in it knows what's going on.
Knows what's up. Okay.
I mean, if you're interested in it and you wanted to play it, it's been out for a few days. I'm sure you've played it. If you are interested in it and you're on the internet, I'm pretty sure you saw the memes, the spoilers, the leaks, all that stuff, or at least are aware of it. If you still don't want spoilers, then fucking tune out now, I guess. But
all right. So, you know, the end of The Last of Us 1, Joel lies to Ellie. He just, you know, she's like, did you really, you know, what was going on there? And basically, he found out that they were going to kill her to get the cure, supposedly. And he freaked out, and he was like, I'm gonna kill everybody in this room, like, you know, lop heads off and be done with it. And so he took care of that shit, ended the scientists and at the Fireflies, and kind of moved on to the next thing, and, you know, saved his little girl, his new little girl, whatever, you know, just however his relationship, however you want to.
Right, because that's not his actual daughter. He's like his adopted daughter, basically, right? Like a surrogate daughter.
He met during this craziness that reminds him of his daughter.
Right. Okay. Like a surrogate daughter.
Hey, dude, like, if that's all you had, like, for your own sanity in a post-apocalypse, I think that's, like, they did a good job with the dialogue of, like, why she mattered, because, dude, I'm telling you right now, if you're a father and you have a daughter, like, that your daughter you're literally your entire world. Like, it's hard to explain or even feel if you don't have it, because, at least as an alpha male style individual myself, having my daughter, like, she's my world. Like, I would like to say that, you know, there's more things important, but, like, my daughter is, like, you know, everything. Like, it's my night and my moon. Like, it's what keeps me going. And like, I get the idea of, like, doing anything, like damning the human race.
Yeah,
like,
dooming humanity. Like, yeah, just.
I mean, yeah, people do that kind of shit all the time.
Yeah, hey man,
you know what I mean?
No guilt there. You gotta do what you gotta do, man.
Yeah, and it is what it is, dude. So you've got this game that was just well played out, great narrative, fucking incredible narrative. And I don't know what happened between the end of the first one and, like, the game that got made now. Because, you know, as good as the spectrum is that I'm talking about for this game, it's the antithesis of what The Last of Us 2 is. It's literally like an anathema, where, like, it just destroys. It's the exact
everything
opposite.
That was like, built up.
It doesn't even leave ashes. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's that much of a vaporizing situation where.
Jeez.
I bought The Last of Us 3 times on 3 different versions. Okay. I will never buy The Last of Us 3. I will never buy.
Is there gonna be a third one after this?
I don't know why they would have. Like, we'll talk about the ending here in a second. Okay. Like, maybe. I mean, they definitely left it open. I won't buy it, and I don't think anybody's gonna buy it. Like, they're talking about how, like, all good sales are. Sounds like bullshit to me. Sounds like how good Captain Marvel was or whatever. And then everybody listened like, yeah, here's all these tickets that were paid out, but there's like 4 people here. Like that
Right.
kind of
No one's gonna go and watch Captain Marvel 2.
I'm not. That's for fucking sure. That's
So I don't want to sidetrack you too much. I'm pretty much done with the Marvel Cinematic Universe at this point. They wrapped up this story. I saw what they're planning for the next 5 years. No interest.
I haven't seen it, but it's got X-Men, and X-Men is like everything to me, so like I gotta be in. But we can touch on that. Just to finish off the second half of The Last of Us 2. The gameplay has not evolved at all. It's definitely graphically incredible. There's no denying it. It is if there wasn't so much polarizing stuff with it, people would be praising it as like a lifelike video game. It is motion capped on a lot of the stuff. There's tons of incredible there's a ton of incredible just backdrops, just the way that the environment looks, just the way that the animation of the opponents that you're going against, just how like some of the death scenes are fucking incredible from some of the monsters that kill you, literally like clamping down and just absolutely destroying, just eating you. Like literally eating you. It's unlike anything that's been out. But the story is something that like you would write if you were 9 years old.
Ooh, that bad.
Like if I was 9 years old and I was mad at something and I was like, oh, I'm gonna write a story about how much I don't like so and so. Like that's what it would be. And I don't know why he did it, because it's trash. Like it's trash. Like why would I play a game for 30 or speed run it in however many hours and then buy a second copy to have everything that I got out of that first game be removed in the first 2 hours?
So that's what they did. Like they basically just, for the first part of the game, they just fucked the first game over and just said, nah, fuck all that shit, we're doing this now.
So these characters were so smart, they wouldn't even give people names in the first game, because they knew that everyone was out to get them, Joel and Ellie. Like they wouldn't even talk to people. Like it was just like Shotgun Shiv, like Hyde, whatever. Like it was The Last of Us. Like that's right. What it was. Like they weren't trying to be friends with people. Like they weren't. They were trying to figure out the Firefly thing and that whole connection. But like that's it. Like that's all they were doing. They had their little squad with Tess, and that's it. The idea that like Joel would show up in a room with like a bunch of strangers, like unarmed, doesn't make sense when literally the entire game that you played
was being careful and cautious.
Yes, and in every single cutscene and dialogue, it evolved around you not being seen, not having dialogue, because you didn't trust anyone, because everyone was out to get you. So then suddenly you're gonna have 6 people like surround you, like you're gonna walk in a room like, hey, let's go in this room over here, and you're like, all right, like what the fuck? Like how bad is that writing? Like that writing's absurd. And then, you kill the characters. Like they literally, and don't get me wrong, like they do a fucking horrific death of Joel. It is fucking intense. Like, if you want to look at it objectively, like that is a fucking brilliant death. Like they fucking now from the narrative standpoint, it's horrible and it's stupid and it doesn't make any sense. But visually, just like the graphics of like how it looked. The term objectively was the wrong one. Graphically, it looked like, bro.
Did
it was
you
bad. Like,
read the Walking Dead comics by chance?
No, my wife did.
Okay, I'm curious on what she would think on comparing that to like when Negan beat the fuck out of everybody, because that that was some graphic violent shit. That was scary.
The stuff on the TV was pretty messed up for me, like the one I saw on TV when his eyeball popped out a little bit, when he got his head split down the middle. Like
comics were worse.
I believe it.
But yeah, okay. So how would you compare like that to what happened in Last of Us.
I mean, it's really not as hardcore as like they make it out to be. I mean, he gets shotgunned in the leg, they blow his leg off, and they put a tourniquet on it, and then then she beats his head in with a golf club. The character that he just saved. Like, so that's what it is. Like, it's the daughter of one of the scientists, one of the Fireflies. Even though I'm pretty sure they retconned it and whatever, and they changed her skin tone. I don't know. I can't remember. I gotta look back at some stuff. And she then, beats Joel's brains in.
Why?
And because this is a revenge story, because we're supposed to understand that there's layers to shades of gray to the violence, and like just because you're violent to one person, you might be impacting someone else in a different way, or if you're good to one, it might be considered violence to another. If you save one person, it might be condemning another. Either way, it's a really dumb bullshit mechanism to try and spit a narrative at you, because the director like mocapped himself, and he like spits on Joel, like, which is, I mean, people say like it's not symbolic, I'm reading too much into it, but like I just told you, like video games are art. Like, right. That wouldn't be in there unless there was a fucking reason for it.
And you mocapped yourself doing it, too. Come on.
Yeah, like, I mean, there's a million ways you could have done that. So, like, obviously, we saw what happened with Star Wars, with, Rian and JJ, just shitting on each other and spitting on each other's stuff and just, like, retconning each other's shit over and over again. So I get it. Like, this guy's part of the new crew, and he's running the gauntlet.
Oh, so this guy didn't write the first one?
No, so there was a guy who supposedly was the head writer. His name, Bruce or something, I can't remember what it is. But Neil was like the co-secondary, I don't know, whatever it is. But then, he's now in charge of the franchise for the second one. I hope not for the third. No, then again, I'll be honest with you, it doesn't matter if he's in charge of the third one, because this one was so bad.
You're just done with it.
I won't touch it. Like, what is the point? Like, so here, we'll talk about it a little bit more. So let's assume that Joel, there was a way to recover. Like, maybe we're going to find a way to hunt this character down, right? Like, they just beat Joel's brains in, okay? They killed the guy that was, like, the savior of the one, of the little girl, and of Ellie, and we're here to, now maybe go on a revenge story. Hey, we're gonna get her back. We're gonna show her what's up. All right. Well, you don't. You kill a bajillion people on the way to the end of the game. Then you untie her because she's being like pseudo crucified, like tied up, tortured, whatever, and you cut her and her, I think, like, lover down. And you're like gonna put them in. They're gonna put them in a boat, and then Ellie is like, "Hey, I can't let you leave." And then like they start fighting, because now after you save somebody, you're gonna start killing them.
So she saved the person that beat her
Joel.
Father's head in?
Yeah. Yep, with the club.
Okay.
And yeah. So then after you bring them to the boat and then you start fighting, she bites off 2 of Ellie's fingers.
Okay, Gollum.
Yep. And this is supposed to be symbolic because now she can no longer play guitar, like Joel taught her. And throughout the game, there's like little mini games where you play the guitar and like strum. It's actually pretty cool and like chill vibe stuff. But like again, in the broad scheme.
Okay, I mean, I get that as a symbolic thing, but okay.
But then she lets her go. Like, you let Abby go. Like,
okay, if anyone bit my fingers off, nah.
You're dead.
Yeah.
Dead, absolutely. I don't care who you are.
I don't care. Yeah, I don't care who you are.
Absolutely, dead. Right there. Without even, especially in a post-apocalyptic situation, 100 times over. Without even thinking about it. You're absolutely dead.
You bit my... After I saved you, you bit my fingers off. Yeah.
So, just saying that out loud, I'm just like looking into space and I'm just frustrated. Because like that's the ending to this is...
So what you're going through is kind of how I would guess people like... I'm sorry, I'm not an emotional person. That stuff doesn't get me. But like,
a passionate nutbag, dude. I'm crazy as hell.
I guess what you're going through is kind of like what Star Wars fans went through, where they just fucked that cinematic universe over so hard, and everyone's like, why? Like, for what reason? And then like nothing matches up, and everything's just like horrible now. And
you
now,
ruined it.
Yeah, you ruined it. You ruined something that people were passionate about, and I wouldn't say dedicated their lives to, but modeled some of their brain after, of like stories and lessons and characters that you grew up, hanging out with, basically. And you ruined everything. And now they're like, well, what do we do now?
Fucking ruined. Like, ruined. Like I'm mad because I'll never get that time back from the first one. If it's so bad that I'd rather not play the first game and just not even know what people are talking about.
Wow, okay, so you rather would have not have played it and not have to deal with that disappointment?
It's garbage. Like, what's the point? So I can sit and be like, hey, man, remember that story that was great, and now I gotta not talk about the ending of it because it's fucking trash? Like, I'm not even gonna talk about any of the gender stuff that people are fucking making jokes and memes. I don't even need to touch on that shit. I'm just talking on the narrative and how fucking horribly written it was. Like, in what video game, in what story do you take the main character and kill them to be like, yeah, all right, now get attached to this person? Because, I didn't even tell you that. You then play, like, the second half of the game as the killer. You play as Abby for, like, 10 hours. You actually play as Abby, like, right at the beginning of the game, too. And, you don't know why. But then, like, yeah, you play as her for the second half of the game. And you're supposed to, like, it's supposed to be, like, a redemption thing.
Oh, my God. I can't imagine people just be like, well, why do I want to play this now?
Why would you? All you want to do is, like, dude, every review says the same thing. I died a lot because I didn't care when I got hit.
Yeah, I wanted my character to be dead.
Didn't really care a lot. They're like, yeah, I watched the animation of the death over and over and over again. Fucking died because I hated the character. And, they're trying to blame it on, I don't know what, like, gender or something. Like, I couldn't even tell you. Look, bad writing is bad writing. When you write like a 9-year-old, you write like a 9-year-old. There's no way around it. Because that's how 9-year-olds write. I'm mad. I'm going to spit. I'm going to kick. Fuck this guy. Ha! Like, what? Who's this guy think he is? Like, this is the worst writing I've ever seen in my life. Like, the last time I saw writing was this bad was an episode of Street Sharks when I was like 11 years old. Street Sharks. I don't remember what the plot was, but it was like Slamu, the big giant orange one, he like wanted ice cream. That plot was almost as bad as The Last of Us 2. A cartoon from like 29 years ago. So like, I don't even want to know.
I think it speaks a lot in that you would have rather not have enjoyed the first story and knowing that, going into this was going to happen. Like, you would have just been like, no, fuck, if I knew, then I would not have gotten attached and enjoyed this so much because the letdown was that huge.
There's only so many good video games out there. Like, 95% of video games that come out are crap. Like, no offense to like everyone out there, like, it's the reality of it.
There's a lot of crap.
Now we've lost another one. It's gone because it's ruined. Like, it's the story they have has nothing to do with the first story. And even if you try to use the little connection they have because they're like, hey, it's the same characters, you kill the characters. You literally kill the characters. Like, what are you doing? And then at the end of it, like, Ellie goes off and she's like, so Abby goes off and like with her significant other and whatever, I guess, to understand now that it's okay to kind of kill people, keep killing people, hunt them down, but then at the end they'll save you and not kill you. I don't know. It sounds absolutely horrible.
It sounds like a revenge story gone wrong.
Thank you so much, honey.
There was no closure.
It's not even a revenge story. It's garbage. Like, there's no word for it other than trash because it doesn't go higher than that. Like, when you try to like make me spend $60 on something and it's literally the opposite of what the game says on the cover, because that's why I bought it. It's The Last of Us 2. I wanted the same thing I got, but more. That's right. That's a sequel. I want more of what I had. I want a continuation. You literally ended it right away in the first 2 hours and then tried to make me get connected to a character that you can't. Like, you can't, because that character just killed the one that the whole reason you got the game. You spent $60 for 50% of these characters that are now dead. And then the culmination of it is the other character gets 2 of her fingers bit off and goes to like sit in a house and not play guitar because she only has 3 fingers now. She like goes there and like strums and like can't fucking do it. And like, now I'm supposed to be depressed. Like,
is that how it ends?
Yes.
Holy shit. Wow, that's bad.
What the fuck?
So you finished it then? Yeah.
Yeah, it's garbage. I didn't buy it. I watched it twice just to make sure that because I was real mad the first time. Where like I was just like I thought I missed a whole bunch because I was just like up like running around just mad. Yeah, it's fucking trash. I feel bad for anybody who bought the game. Like I feel bad because.
But it got all those 10-star reviews.
Oh yeah, so you want to talk about? We can touch on that. How that's a fucking joke.
Well, come on. Everyone knows that any game reviewing site, publisher, whatever.
No, I didn't know it was like that. I didn't like. There's no way.
How every fucking Call of Duty and FIFA game that gets like a 9 every fucking year.
I didn't know that they would all get behind this game because there's not even an objective viewpoint to tell me that this game's good because it doesn't offer anything new.
Right.
Nothing new.
It's the same game. Well, that's what I heard. It's basically the same game, gameplay at least as the first one that was done like 10 years ago, something like that.
Literally.
And it just looks better.
There's some cool monsters, but that's literally every video game made now, like every single one. And that's it. Like there's nothing. Like there's nothing. Like I could just go on I could type in cool monster 3D model and go on one of those free websites and download them for like 29 cents. Right. Like just Google it and just look at it. Like the game's that bad. Like it's that bad. There's nothing new. Nothing new, and it killed whatever was trying to grow. Not only did it like kill it and cut it if it was like a vegetation, it then like poured salt on the ground so like nothing can ever grow there again. Like it's literally like the earth is ruined of wherever this game touches. Like it's scorched earth. It's so bad. So I don't know, man. Like I thought I was disappointed in Kingdom Hearts 3, and then I played this.
And now you're like, Kingdom Hearts 3 looks pretty good, huh?
Kingdom Hearts 3 is a masterpiece compared to this. Like Kingdom Hearts 3 is a very coherent, well done.
Okay, I think you're stretching that one.
Easily understood and discussed story compared to how bad this game missed the mark.
Jesus Christ, dude.
I can't. There's not words for how mad I was that because why would you do it? Like why? Like why like something happened, and that's the thing. Like there had to be something
more personal that he did just to get revenge on whatever his higher up did, I guess, previously.
Like Joel was the other writer's favorite character or something, and this was like the way to do it and like get back at him, and like he pitched it.
I could see that. Yeah, because it's more of revenge on a personal level up to, the previous writer or something like that.
Because the writing is so completely different. It's you know what this is? It's the equivalent of the Matrix 1 to then the second and third parts. How like it's just like the first one was so ahead of its time and like well done and just like a quantum leap in the medium, and then you have the second and third ones where you're like, this is all flash like graphically and there's no substance. Like this story doesn't make any sense. And then
sorry, go ahead.
And then you see the end of it. And again, you're left just like at the end of the final Matrix. You're like, is Neo alive? I don't fucking know. Maybe not. Dead, probably. Now he's part of something. No one really gives a fuck because you've kind of fucking killed everything.
Gotcha.
Like everything that you enjoyed is ruined. So,
another side tangent. Did you watch Animatrix?
No, I did not.
You should probably do that.
I've heard nothing but wonderful things.
It's pretty sweet.
I know it's old now at this point, but
it is. Have you seen was it Love, Death, and Robots?
Mm-mm.
Okay, so they're kind of the same, where it's got a center story, I guess, centralizing theme, where
Yeah.
You know, Animatrix is all about, you know, the Matrix and robots and kind of how humans evolve, that sort of thing. But then it's a bunch of different well-known studios doing like short, you know, 2 to 5 minute movie segments, basically like short films, and it's like 50 of them in a movie or a short little series. It's cool stuff, dude. You need to watch both of those. Watch Animatrix and then Love, Death, and Robots, and just make an evening of it.
I'll do one at a time. I'll probably do Animatrix first.
Yeah, it's cool stuff. Anyway,
I need another beer.
Okay. Well, cheers to the first Last of Us game.
Mine's empty. Hold on. God damn, The Last of Us 2 was garbage. I can't believe how bad that fucking game was.
Sorry.
No, I'm sorry. I don't even gonna like go back on that. That game is so fucking bad. Holy.
I'm trying to think of when the last time I was seriously disappointed in a video game.
Kingdom Hearts 3. Like, I thought it was bad. I was like, oh, I thought this would be
See,
like...
and I only played the first Kingdom Hearts because they got just really weird and the story made absolutely no sense after it. So I wasn't invested in 3 either.
Doom, maybe? No, Doom's been decent, right?
Okay, no. How about Wolfenstein? So I don't know how many people play Wolfenstein, but the last couple Wolfenstein games, the last couple Wolfenstein games were really good. And then they just came out with this new one, I think it's New Blood, where you play as BJ Blazkowicz's daughters, which is the worst
Such a good name,
garbage.
It's
a good name, but it's such a dog shit Wolfenstein game. I was really bummed out because it's, you know, it's like a modern game. Like, everything has RPG elements for stupid reasons. Like, enemies have levels and damage reduction, and you have to level up your characters in a shooter game, in a first-person shooter. Like, why? There's like microtransaction for like EXP boosters and cosmetics and shit. And I don't know. It was really bad. The game was also buggy as fuck, and I was really disappointed in that one. Doom Eternal, I was also, you know, hot take, didn't care for. It was fine, but I thought 2016 was a lot better. But I don't think it was that much of a disappointment compared to like Last of Us 2. But again, I'm also not emotionally available, I guess. I don't get attached to stuff very well.
Well, they also didn't kill off the Doomslayer and say like, hey, you're now going to play as this new random character you've never heard of.
Oh, dude, that would have pissed me off so bad. Yeah.
Like, if you had seen like the Doomslayer get his leg blown off and then his head beaten,
and then they give you like a demon as a Doomslayer to
like, are you
play,
like, and then
I would
have
like, what the fuck? Yeah,
like,
okay, that would have been really bad.
Now. It's cool.
Okay, I can see that as an equivalent. Holy shit, I would have been furious if they killed off the Doomslayer.
After everything that you spent with that character, like, per se, like, the conversations that you had with your friends on the Discords, on the forums, on the phones, on the whatever, everything that you had, like, now is culminated, like, because everyone remembers that's how memory works by definition. Like, it's the most recent thing is the easiest to recall. So you ruin it because the first thing you recall is
that dog shit. Yeah.
It's trash.
Yeah. I sure hope they don't do that with Metroid Prime 4.
So I'm actually okay with Metroid Prime 4 having some rivalry stuff, because at the end, remember a lot of them, there was that bounty hunter that was hunting her?
Well, that
like
was...
that dude.
Yeah, well, in Hunters, Prime 3. I just want to say, the Prime series was leaps ahead of its time. It is still hands down probably some of my favorite shooter games ever, and just the fact that they transitioned from a 2D platformer into an FPS kind of platformer game, holy fuck, it was still a Metroid game, still kept its soul. It was still fucking amazing.
Yeah, don't get me wrong, like, I'll always love, like, the old Metroidvania. Like, I think Super Metroid 4-player speedruns are...
Oh, that's just the best to watch. I fucking love watching
this. It's the most fun. Like, there is so much... like, being 20 years later, it's like watching Final Fantasy Tactics. Yeah. Like, it's just good. Like, it's just fucking good. Like, it's entertaining. I can't see them ruining the franchise.
Well, Other M could disagree.
What happened in Other M again?
Oh, you don't remember Other M? So like Other M was the one done by Ninja. Who is it Ninja? Studios that they do like the Ninja Gaiden games. I forget what their Team Ninja. I think it's Team Ninja. But it was kind of like a third-person Metroid Prime game, and they gave an actual character. Yeah, it was like a third-person. A lot of stuff was in third-person. Metroid Prime. They gave Samus like an actual character with voice and stuff, but they made her just such a whiny bitch. It ruined all like my mental images of what Samus would be. And the gameplay wasn't that good, and the story was just a joke, and every character was just like, what the fuck is going on? And everyone hated the other M. So I hope they don't do shit like that for Metroid Prime 4.
I had to have played it. Why am I like? Did you talk to like someone on the headset? Like you talked to like your commander or some shit?
Kind of like a Metal Gear Solid thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, sort of.
Is your suit fusing to you or something?
No, that was Fusion. Fusion was good. I like Fusion.
Like I remember that one being dope.
Yeah, I really like Fusion. All the GBA Metroid games are really good. But yeah, Metroid Prime Other M was a third-person Metroid game.
I had to have played this game.
Yeah, it was on Wii. It was just. I'm looking at like the wiki of it right now. I don't remember it, but it's bad. It's really bad.
No, I never played this game. Wow, this game looks shitty. Oh my god, no, I never played this one.
Yeah, you didn't need to. Don't worry. Now, see, I hope. I mean, obviously, Metroid Prime's not going to be next chronologically in the story because it's Prime. It's from back when Samus was in her prime. I want them to do another Metroid game past Fusion because Fusion's where the current Metroid story ends, and Fusion was really good.
That's the one at the end of Fusion. If you do all the stuff, the bounty hunter you see him warp after you. In his ship, in the secret ending, his little green whatever ship, like he's like as you fly off in your little yellow disc.
Was that Fusion or is that Hunters on the DS? Because Fusion was with SAX. I don't remember. It's been a while. If you want to look it up, I don't recall. I haven't played Fusion and Hunters in probably close to 12 or 13 years. It's been a while. By the way, Metroid Prime and Hunters had very underrated multiplayer. Their deathmatch arena stuff was pretty sweet.
Doesn't show the thing. Okay, yeah, no, that must have been Hunters that you were talking about.
Yeah, because Hunters was all about the bounty hunters, and then Metroid Prime 3 was also about the bounty hunters and stuff too.
Yeah, 3 was.
Yeah. But yeah.
Metroid was so good.
Metroids in general have been pretty solid.
I like that whole genre, the Metroidvania side-scroller. I mean, I bought Bloodstained. I think I bought Bloodstained for 3 people. Like, I bought it for me and 2 of my buddies because of how much I liked it. Shout out to Sabella for speedrunning that and beating it in, like, 3 seconds.
Sybil did runs for it?
Yeah, he fucking just... I don't think he recorded it, but, like, he beat the shit out of that game. Like, he
Sybil. We need Sybil to post runs of that. That'd be cool.
Like, he fucked that game up.
Yeah, Metroidvania games are good. I was hoping that we'd get a new Castlevania game too, but Konami's fucking doesn't make games anymore. They make pachinko machines. And I was like, can we like give that to Capcom and do what they did with like Devil May Cry, but for Castlevania? Like, that'd be cool.
I mean, for Castlevania, all you gotta do is just go with what you did with Symphony of the Night, and that's it. Like, you do the same exact thing.
They could, but there's also some pretty decent not third person. Yeah, I guess like 3D adventure Castlevania games.
They have some good ones. They did.
And I think
familiars.
The one with the familiar. I don't know, dude.
You could get like 50 different monsters to float around and power up with you. It was super fun. It was open world. Some of the familiars had powers to like unlock stuff. The end game had like 2 towers that you climbed one, and then each floor was like up to like 100, like was tougher monsters, and then at the top like you had to have like this rare like end game bird to like fly over to this other tower.
Was it Lords of Shadow?
Nope. No. It wasn't that one. It was,
Lords of Shadow too. I remember playing Curse of Darkness and Symphony of the Night and I don't really recall.
It ain't Lament of Innocence. It's fuck.
All I'm saying is that kind of what they did with Metroid, where they took it from a 2D platformer into an amazing first-person like shooter adventure game. If they did something similar to Castlevania and did it like almost like a Devil May Cry game, but just made it more Castlevania-y,
Sure.
then I think Capcom could do a great job with that. But Konami's not doing shit, unfortunately. Oh, did you hear that AT&T is getting out of gaming, so they're gonna try and sell Warner Brothers, which has like the IPs for like the Lord of the Rings games and Mortal Kombat and a couple other things, like all the Lego Star Wars games, all the Lego games.
No, I did not hear any of that.
By the way, the Lego games are pretty good.
They're fun as shit.
They're pretty
fun. They're fun.
They're solid games.
Drink and play those with your buddies online. And just like those are fun fucking games.
Yeah,
like,
I played a lot of Lego Star Wars.
Yep.
But anyways,
someone who likes only like competitive stuff and like end game like JRPGs and like deep shit, like those Lego games are legit as fuck. Like they're fun as fuck.
Yeah. But yeah, so they're trying to sell it, and unfortunately, I hate to see Mortal Kombat go, because Mortal Kombat 11 is the best Mortal Kombat's ever been. It's sold really well. Oh yeah, Mortal Kombat's by 11's really, really good. And unfortunately, the people that are looking to buy it are like fucking EA and Activision and Take-Two. It's just like, fuck, dude, I don't want to see Mortal Kombat go to them.
I mean, society is killing everything from my childhood that was good. Might as well kill Mortal Kombat. I mean, might as well just make it bad and just.
Have you not played Mortal Kombat 11? Probably not. You don't really play fighting games. Huh?
I haven't. I think Tekken is the best. It's the highest like complexity in like terms of the moves. Although Street Fighter's probably like got like the best whatever refinement to shit.
Did you know Tekken 7 has sold just about as many copies as Street Fighter 5? Tekken 7 is a solid game, and it's been picking up in popularity like crazy in the East.
It's been out for a long time too. Like the game's fucking good. Like
it's like 5 years old now too. Yeah.
Yeah, from a competitive standpoint, like that game, like you can, like that game, like you can fuck people up in that game, like based off of knowledge and like mechanics. Like it's not just something like that you can kind of not be good on the sticks with. Like you got to be good on the sticks with that. I think probably as I get older, it's gonna be a little bit tougher. But
I think Evo hyped it up a lot because it's really good competitively.
Oh yeah! Oh my god! And that's what its niche always was. Like as someone who's been playing video games, like I said, for fucking 35 years, while other games were developing like character backstories and like merchandising and all that shit, like Tekken was like, we're gonna focus on just high level gameplay. Like,
right. Yeah. Tekken's always been there. Yeah, it's always been.
Yeah, it's always been that game. Like everything else had
Tekken Tag. Oh my god.
The best.
Everyone fucking played Tekken Tag back in the day. Yeah. It's an awesome game. I don't know where we were going with this. I don't know why I started talking about like every other game.
We already went off script like 50 times.
There's no fucking script.
You want to talk about Remnant?
Yeah, I guess before we let's do that. Okay, so I have a link there. So Remnant, if you guys don't know, is kind of hard not to if you're watching this on my channel. Is a kind of a Souls-like game that I mean I love Souls games, and I've been playing a lot of Remnant lately, and so Remnant's got new DLC coming out. I mean it just dropped some like a month ago that I've been just diving back into. I've gotten into Remnant just because of this DLC again, and they got new DLC coming out in August, so I'm kind of hyped for that. Remnant is exactly what I said before. It's Souls but with guns. I mean you can play melee too, but it's Souls with guns. And I just wanted to shout out to the Remnant community, who's also been just awesome, by the way. I talked to a lot of people on the Remnant Discord, all their developers. It's a small indie game. There's like 11 of them. They're all on their Discord. They talk about the games a lot. So if you want to like, pitch balance changes and stuff like that, they're all ears. That's great. And so they just dropped this new trailer when they did like their IGN PC gaming show. And I want to play that really quick. So if cool. Jin, if you don't mind, I'm going to go ahead and hit play.
All right. 3, 2, 1, click.
Okay.
They say
Blood, strong
hope
violence, and
is
strong
what
limits
makes
and
us
violence.
human. Hope also let us think
Sounds
we'd won.
It's a short one.
But the
That's cool.
root have another gate
This is for the
somewhere.
DLC.
Another hole
Yeah.
we have to plug in our sinking civilization. Maybe the root's not the only thing we need to worry about.
And that's basically it. I mean, it's a relatively short trailer, but I think it's cool because it's got a lot of like Vermintide feel to it. There's a lot of rat people and mole people. They look
Skaven.
Yeah, like Skaven. Yeah, they're like Skaven. And it looks cool. The DLC comes out in 2 months, August 20th, and it's gonna basically be like the last DLC for Remnant before they move on to other things, which is kind of a bummer. But I hope we get more because the game is good. It's legitimately good. It looks good. It plays good. There are, flaws for sure. No game's perfect, that's for sure. But for a Souls-like game, and trust me, I love Souls games. I played every Souls game. I played all the Souls-likey games. Like, I played Lords of the Fallen. I played The Surge and The Surge 2. I played Salt and Sanctuary. I played Blasphemous. I fucking played, like, all the Souls stuff.
Okay.
And this game is really good. It's not very well known. It came out last year, actually, but they just finally put out a DLC this year, and they've been patching it, changing it, up times. And, yeah, I really love the game. I know a lot of people don't care for it because it's like, not a mainstream AAA title game. But anyone that's a Souls fan, I would recommend them check it out. It's pretty sweet. And so I'll be still covering that on my YouTube channel for the next month, I guess. And then when the DLC comes out, I'll do that. And then we'll go from there.
Get that shit.
Speaking of Souls games, though, Jin, did you play The Surge 2 by chance?
No, I didn't.
Did you play the first? Yeah. Did you play the first one?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, you need to play the second one. It's super dope.
All those games, dude. Anytime you can like spend time upgrading your weaponry by like systematically breaking off limbs of things, like I'm all for that, man.
I'm just a huge fan of Souls games. I still think like if I rank all the Souls games, I'm gonna actually put Salt and Sanctuary in top 3 though.
I don't know, man. I think like I would put all the other ones ahead of that. To be honest with you, like, as good as it is, like
yours
Dark
is like
1, 2, 3,
Demon Souls, and then Dark Souls, and then everything else.
No. Like Bloodborne's up there too, man. Like Bloodborne's just as good as Dark Souls and Demon Souls, just a different aspect. I just think Demon Souls is the best. 'Cause I think Demon Souls was the hardest. Like,
well, it was also the pioneer. Well, I wouldn't say the pioneer. Like Kingsfield was more of the pioneer, but of modern gaming, yeah, Demon Souls was the pioneer into the. Hey, games don't have to be easy. They don't have to let the player win. They don't have to hold the player's hand and stuff like that. Because I think it was really important when Demon Souls came out. We were in this weird time where we had just checkpoints constantly and
yes.
A ton of difficulty options of like rare, like back to like easies was like the default, and everything was just so handholdy. There was tutorials for like 40 minutes into the game trying to tell you and pause the game like, okay, well, this is how you do this and this is how you beat this boss, stuff like that. And it was just kind of a nice refresher where they're like, you figure it out, fuckface.
And at that time too, the internet was a little bit younger in terms of social media.
Oh, for sure. Dude, social media didn't kick off until like 2012.
Yeah, so maybe like 2 years later. And like when I imported Demon Souls, like
see, and even back then, you still needed fucking strategy guides and stuff because that stuff wasn't online.
Yeah. Like it was not like there was none of that at all. Like I still have just talking about it right here, the Demon Souls.
Yeah, see, I got that somewhere, and I got my Dark Souls Bible.
The pre-order from wherever the game came from. That without that, like I would have been like, whoo. Like, so I only used that just because I was confused. Because when we got it,
Well, it's also in like Korean, right? Like, was it no
Yeah,
English?
the game,
Yeah.
like dexterity was listed as fall damage. That's what it said in English, was fall damage.
Oh my
And I was
god.
like, why would I put points into this?
Right?
And everyone's like, you gotta put points into the dexterity. I'm like, this doesn't say dexterity. Like, I have no idea what the fuck you're talking about. And they're like, you gotta use a translator. And I'm like, it says fall damage. Like, I don't know what the
Oh
fuck
my
you
god.
like it was just absurd. So the game was awesome. World tendency, I think it's the greatest idea ever, just to like really gate players. I mean, if you're like trying to make a game that's not for casuals, like if you're a game like, hey, listen, this game is designed for hard players, like people who want something difficult.
Oh, for sure. Demon Souls was like Dark Souls is hand holding by comparison.
People say like a bunch of things like, oh, those games are easy, whatever. The people that say those games are the people that beat those games. Those people that beat those games are better than 95% of the player base for video games.
Well, 95% of the player base for video games play Candy Crush and can't get past a couple
exactly.
of tutorials.
That's the thing. People don't understand that. Like, I can tell you, there are people that I know that play Madden, that play Call of Duty, that can't get past like the tutorial in Dark Souls.
Right.
Like without like just being, this game's stupid, this is dumb. Like, I don't. Why would I play this?
They can't solve puzzles or piece stuff together, stuff like that.
It's not even the puzzle solving. It's just being able to like get back to somewhere.
I don't mean like actual puzzles, but puzzle solving in general is a mental skill you need to do for a lot of games.
Yes.
Where you have to figure out by visual cues, audio cues, environmental stuff, just kind of how things work together. And yeah, people can't do that. That's also the reason why I hate playing co-op and I don't like playing multiplayer games. I don't like doing duo speedruns. I don't like doing any of that shit. I just don't like waiting for people to figure things out. I don't know. It makes me sound like an asshole, but I kind of am. A lot of, like 95% of gamers aren't up there. And I don't like to say like, oh yeah, I'm gonna top 1% elitist, but like, fuck, I can't do multiplayer stuff because I don't like relying on other people, like, at all, because people just can't figure stuff out or just don't comprehend how to do things.
It's tough for me in a game, unless you've been playing with that person for a long time doing the same type of stuff, to anticipate how to play with you, because like a lot of players in a lot of games like think they're good at games.
Yeah.
And like I'm sure maybe
I think that's where, sorry, I don't want to cut you off, but I think that's where a lot of the toxicity comes from in games like MOBA games and like arena shooters, like team-based arena shooters like Overwatch and stuff, where everyone thinks they're good and hates everyone else because they think they're not doing what they should be doing because the way you play is different. And that's why everyone hates each other, and those games are just like fucking chaotic as hell. And I can't play those games because of that.
Yeah, they're horrible just because of that kind of crap, like that kind of mentality. That's a fucking shitty one. You know who doesn't have a shitty mentality like that? The Pokemon community. Super fucking good community.
I mean, the Pokemon community is like 12-year-olds, so.
That's not true at all, man. They're all like me. A bunch of dudes have been playing since they were 12 fucking years.
You've been hitting the head a couple times, Jen. You're...
Dude, trust me. There's a bunch of old-ass dudes like me still gaming it up, playing all...
Okay, I don't know what's worse. What's worse? Is a bunch of old dudes playing Pokemon, or people who got hit in the head one too many times and they're playing Pokemon?
Completely okay. From all
I know. I'm still a huge Pokemon fan. I kind of dipped out of this generation because I don't think they provided enough to justify the price increase of Pokemon games.
Yeah.
And
Resident Evil 3 and 2, the remakes, were $60.
Well, and that's the thing. So
games.
I don't like the Resident Evil 3 remake. I thought the Resident Evil 2 remake was solid. It was a great game, but the 3 felt more like a DLC.
Sure.
It looked exactly the same. It played exactly the same. I don't think it should have been a $60 game. I think that was just more of an easy cash grab for Capcom. A little bit butthurt on that one. But 2 was fantastic. No, it's just,
they're not $60 games, dude. Like you can't give me a game for 3 hours for $60. Like, not in this day and age.
Fair. Yeah, I mean, I'm Jewy as all hell. I have to, anytime I purchase anything, especially a video game, I calculate how much time I'm going to spend with it versus how much that's going to cost me per hour, and is that worth working over, basically.
Good, that makes sense.
And as much as I love Pokemon games, because you can play them fucking forever, especially when you get into the competitive aspects like you have. You could dump hundreds and thousands of hours into them. I get butthurt because the whole... It's more of the National Dex thing. Getting rid of all the Pokemon.
They're back now.
I know, but that's the thing. And then they charged you to get them back. That is literally the only thing that I fucking hate. And that's why I didn't buy the DLC.
I don't look at it like that. I look at it as they cut them because they had to do, competitive rebalancing. And then once they got it all done and they added these new moves, they were able to bring back some of them because they know we want them. Everyone's attacking it like, oh yeah, they cut it, whatever. If they didn't cut it, we'd be in a shitty spot. We'd be in a real shitty spot.
Because the meta wouldn't have evolved at all. It would have been the same teams as we had before. And I get that. I just wish that the DLC was broken up differently in that if you didn't buy the DLC, you could get all the added Pokemon back. And then the DLC gave you the Armor of Isle with like the story components and the new Pokemon they added with that and the new Gigamaxes and items and all that stuff that came on that.
Sure.
If they just let it so that the people who bought the base game got their Pokemon back, I think everyone would have been a lot happier. Been like, okay, look, we got rid of the Pokemon initially because we had more work to do, but now you can have them. And then if you want to buy the DLC to get this extra stuff, great.
Communication should have been like this. It should have been a lot easier. You know what I mean? It wasn't.
If they had done that, I would have felt much better about it.
For sure.
I'm just a salty Jew, so.
Well, dropping a lot of hard J's tonight, but it's okay. Cheers. Mazel. Mazel.
Mazel.
All right, so we got a Latreon coming around the bend, talking about Monster Hunter as we get to the end.
Let's go back to Monster Hunter, because that's actually what we originally did. Not a whole lot going on there, but...
Unfortunately, that's the thing. Like, there's not a lot going on. So we've been seeing the runs drop. We already saw that. We've been talking about that every single week. We got a Latreon now, and unfortunately, that's really the only thing we really have to talk about here to round out the conversations.
Right. So it is coming out in July, which is July itself is 10 days away.
Correct.
But they also didn't give a date. They just said early July, and
so it'll be like the 20th or the 25th.
Yeah, like. I don't know what early means to them, but I'm still guessing second half of July.
I mean, if they were creative with their marketing, they would do it over the 4th of July weekend because they would want that player base to be playing. But
well, I mean, you got to realize that Monster Hunter is more of a Japan thing, so 4th of July doesn't really mean much to them.
It was until it became their #1 selling game.
Okay, fair enough, fair.
A lot of Americans bought the game.
And 4th of July this weekend is actually a Saturday, so if they release it on like a Thursday, Friday, when they usually do their updates on the 1st or 2nd, that would be pretty dope. I think if they were going to release it that early, though, we would have known, because it's literally like 10 days away. So, I mean, we could get something fucking tomorrow. We don't know, like a week after or a week earlier.
Sometimes when they drop it, they're like, "Hey, you get it next Thursday."
Yeah,
like they've done stuff like that. And with this monster being what it's supposed to be, I think this is supposed to be the last thing before the next game, right? Is that still true?
No, so the original roadmap shows the Latreon, and then they have like after Latreon, they have like and many other planned monsters and stuff.
Oh, so there is more content.
So here's the thing that I'm sketchy about.
We know we get ATs. We know we're gonna get more.
I don't know what they specify as more monsters and content.
ATs.
Would you count AT as a new monster?
Yeah, that's what they'll do. It'll be rehashed AT.
Just there was
Furious Rajang, like always angry Rajang was a new monster. That's exactly what it is. It'll be.
I mean, he technically had like 1 or 2 new moves. It was like an arc temper
monster. That's 1 or 2 new moves. That's
right.
New monster.
And yeah, I think so. We're gonna get stuff like that, and then there's also the kind of data leaks and rumors of Frozen Barioth, which I don't want at all. And I hope they're not true.
Was there a video on that?
Was there a video? I haven't seen video.
Someone said something like, right? Or no?
I'm sure someone made a clickbait title saying, "Oh, look, we're getting a new."
Is that what that was? I thought I saw like Aster or somebody with just like no, not even Aster. Like I thought it was a Capcom video. No.
No, there wasn't. Definitely not a Capcom video. Would have seen it.
Frozen Barioth, that white dude with the tusks.
Yeah, like Barioth, but subspecies Frozen Barioth.
I'm not drunk and like misunderstanding which one we're talking about.
Yeah, that guy. I talked to Asterisk, and there is hints and rumors about it being a thing. I wish it wasn't, because Barioth is already a fucking awful fight.
Yeah, I don't want any more Frozen frozen monsters like Ice Legion. That's the stupidest shit I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah, I don't know. We're gonna get an ice monster Barroth, and we're gonna get a frozen variant. Why? Why? Especially when, since you didn't play 3U, Sand Barroth is already a variant that exists. Throw in the Wildspire Waste, call it a day. But
yeah, easy fix there.
Yeah,
that's for any of the monsters.
Yeah.
Skinning doesn't take long. Skinning literally takes like a couple days for what they would want, like to do a new skin of a monster. And if you're talking about these new monsters being based off the definition that you just gave, as someone who's been playing the game for a long time, as it being the definition of what a monster variant is it looks different and has like 1 or 2 new moves. So it's a new monster.
Basically.
That literally is not hard to code. Like, and that's not knocking them because they work really, really hard. I'm just saying, by definition, there are Google videos of how you do this, and I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not talented. Like I can't do it. Like I love the game. It's fun. That's why I do this, show with you. Just you can't piss on my back and tell me it's raining. You know what I'm saying? Like it does not take you a year to make one variant monster. Not when it's got 1 new move. Not when it's got a claw swipe. Not when I'm watching other coders on Discords do stuff. Like, I'm not going to name drop because I don't want to get people in trouble.
And slashing through the code with no tools,
with a
basically.
Fucking virtual scythe. Just
and they're like, okay, and we're going to Frankenstein up a new monster, basically.
Yeah.
I am super excited to to show what the
Beatrix Kiddo.
To show what the modding community is done with some of the monster stuff that we're gonna have. It's gonna be really
the
cool.
modding community. Don't name drop.
Yeah,
don't name
let's
drop.
do that. And I really hope that after Electron, though, that they just, if they stopped updating the game and just let Iceborne be done, great. I don't like being strung along like we have been with Electron for months, saying, "Oh yeah, we will have something eventually." And then what I'm afraid of is that Electron's going to be cool for like the first couple days, and we're going to find out that none of his gear is good, or maybe it's OP as fuck, and then great, now everything else is obsolete too. I don't know. I want the game to be done. Like, it's hard.
I think a lot of people do.
Yeah.
A lot of people, they want the next new thing. They're over the Clutch Claw ruined shit for a lot of people. This is just like we talked about The Last of Us 2 being horrible because of the last thing you remember. Everyone's gonna remember Iceborne because of Clutch Claw, and everyone's like, like Monster Hunter World, greatest version of it ever, 16 million copies, whatever, highest tally, all that shit. The sequel, people who really liked the game didn't really like the sequel. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like it.
And it's like, fuck, I forgot what I was gonna say. I was gonna say something. Can't remember. Fuck. I don't know where I was going with that. Shit.
Okay.
Something about Iceborne. Oh, it's all the people that are like the speedrunners and the streamers and stuff who are kind of built up their fan base around Monster Hunter.
Yep.
Like, what are we supposed to do when there's not anything going on? And they're like, it would be a lot easier if they just said, okay, we're done updating, Electron's the last thing. That's it. And we're like, great, we can do other stuff while we wait for the next game. But while we're still getting kind of
marketing.
Yeah, I know they
can't.
can't. And that's the problem with us too, is
they gotta give you hope.
Along. Yeah. And so we're forced to come back to the game and keep updating on the game and make it still relevant. We're like, yeah, we're probably gonna get something in a month, but it's like, if it was just done, we could just all move on to something until they came out with a new Monster Hunter game, which they will. Every single game for the last fucking 15 years, there's been a Monster Hunter game every year. It could be a spin-off, it could be something else, but there's always gonna be one. So, yeah. And I would certainly love stories too in the meantime, because that'd be hype.
I want a new game. I want something new with the styles and all that shit that I've seen and all the different stuff. And that's
handheld, and they usually do. Like, every time they come out with like a new game, they add just a bunch of weird shit just to play around with stuff. And if it's good, it sticks around. Like, the mounting mechanic came from 4, and that stuck around because everyone liked the mounting and added a lot of depth to combat. Underwater combat, unfortunately, didn't stay. I wish it did. Playing as a cat didn't stay. I wish it did. Styles didn't stay. And shut up, Shin.
Stayed.
I like cats. The cats were so good.
Oh my god.
But yeah, like they always add stuff, and if people like it enough, they usually keep it. So yeah, hopefully with the next Monster Hunter game, they'll do some wacky new things. But I also want stories too. Did you play the first stories? Probably not, because it was on DS.
Nah, dude, I didn't. Like, my first one was Monster Hunter World, bro.
Well,
Like, that was my
you
first.
could have gone back. It's been 3 years since that game came out.
Oh man, like I don't want to play the old shitty ones. Like,
Well, Monster Hunter Stories was Pokemon, but Monster Hunter.
well, just play Pokemon, man.
But it's Monster Hunter.
Play Pokemon. Play Pokemon.
But it's Monster Hunter.
It's better if it's Pokemon.
Maybe. I
We don't even
definitely.
have a leaderboard. We don't even have a working leaderboard for Monster Hunter World and Iceborne. Like, you can't tell me it's better style. Like, don't.
No,
don't
but
pee on my-
stories
don't piss on my back and tell me
was
it's raining,
still
fam.
was
Don't
still
do it.
solid, dude. I put more hours into stories than I did Pokemon the past. Well, I would say 2 games.
I'm trying to swap that around.
I could have, and I really wanted to get invested in Sword and Shield. I had every plan to do so. I was just disappointed in the overall story and performance of the game. I guess it didn't sit well with me, and I would like to come back, but I'm too far gone for that.
Sound like The Last of Us 2. Just too far gone.
Yeah.
No coming back. No coming
Too
back.
far gone.
Let's see what else. Well, we don't really have too much else to talk about here tonight, just because there really hasn't been a lot that's been going on, other than new games coming out. We did get to see that Horizon Zero Dawn 2 for PlayStation 5.
Oh, sorry. Speaking of which, so Horizon and Demon Souls, they both didn't have a release date, did they? They're not going to be launch titles, are they?
So Demon Souls, I'm hoping for.
I was
to still be a
hoping,
launch title.
because if it was, it would sell consoles 100%.
They got a lot of screenshots, so that's why I think, because they've been working on that game for over a year and a half.
Well, right, but the consoles come out in like 4 or 5 months, and
do
they
it.
didn't have a release date, so I was kind of worried about that. I didn't know if you had known anything about those.
It might not be. It might not be. But Horizon is definitely 2021, so that's not
Right.
going to be at launch. And if if they don't have like Resident Evil and like some other shit, it'll be tough for me to get a PlayStation 5 because I don't need another 40k FPS thing. I got my computer.
Right, and I'm just trying to think like what would make me buy a PS5? And it's like, yeah,
Library.
it's when Demon Souls and Resident Evil 8, because 7 was good. Resident Evil 7 was fantastic. But so when Resident Evil 8, Demon Souls, and Horizon 2 come out, I will probably pick up a PS5, but none of those have any sort of release date, so kind of iffy on that right now.
They would need to really amp up the titles for me.
We watched the PlayStation event, and there was like, bless you, there was like fucking nothing there.
Nothing. There was like 4 titles that were interesting, and like everything else was like Knack 2. Like,
It's like Knack 2. Yeah. So yeah, I was just like, I hope they got more to show, but at the same time, the consoles are coming out rather soon, so.
If a game makes me think about Robin Williams as I'm watching the preview trailer for it, I'm not interested in it. Like, if it's that kind of humor, it just doesn't work.
You don't want to play Bug Snacks?
Oh my god, what the fuck was that? What the fuck was that?
I am not surprised once they.
I'm looking for work right now as a former regional sales director, and someone got hired to make that thing.
Okay.
Bug Snacks. Like,
Did
are
you
serious?
play Octodad?
No.
Okay, there are a bunch of wacky games out there, and I am not
that's stupid.
surprised when they said it was from the makers of Octodad that did Bug Snacks.
Everyone said that during the launch. They were like Octodad makers.
Yeah, so I'm not gonna say it's a bad game because everyone loved Octodad. I played it a bit. It's pretty funny. It's a funny game. Bug Snacks looks fucking weird though, especially when the announcers and stuff were talking on a stream. It sounded like butt sex the whole time.
He literally said butt sex.
Yeah, we're like, what?
He literally said butt sex. They made it that way, so like you heard it. Like he said butt sex.
I'm not
He was
gonna
like,
say
buy the
it.
butt sex. It's like,
Yeah. Buy the butt sex. I'm not gonna say the game's bad, and I'm not gonna be hyped for it for a PS5 launch. But I'm interested in the game a little bit. It looks weird. So,
It looks horrible. I'm used to playing games like from like retro 8-bit era where you like walk along like a bridge and like over stuff so like burgers fall down and like crash on like shit. Like those old retro Nintendo
hey,
games.
Burger Time was cool.
That's what I'm saying. I'm allowed to like say if like Bug Snacks is crap because it came out 30 years later and it looks like something from an 8-bit era. Like what the fuck is this game? Like trash.
All right,
Not
fair.
Not good. Too old. That being said, we really don't have a lot going on, and we don't have too much else here. We can just show the 3 runs that we had as we were talking about.
Oh, right. So we do have Elatreon runs to show from our good fellow friends, Akantor and Prey, who did Elatreon runs back in Portable Third. And we kind of want to show you what the Elatreon lock looks like from back in the day. So, yeah, so we can see how shitty it's going to be in Iceborne. So if you guys haven't seen Elatreon, we can show you what is the Elatreon.
I got Aki's up right now.
Yep, so this is first one is going to be Akantor doing Heroic's Hammer versus Elatreon.
Cue it to 33 seconds and just play from there.
33. Oh, is that the setup? Okay.
30 seconds. 30. Sorry.
30 seconds. All right. Okay, ready?
All right, ready? Yep.
Let's go. Oh shit, that's loud.
Flash pod. Oh, that's not TA legal.
No, this is Heroics. This is Akantor doing Heroic's Hammer versus Elatreon back on Portable Third. So this is the first one, which is really not going to let Elatreon do
I can get behind that. Okay, Aki. Okay.
Aki knows how to play, man.
Aki's a G. He's a fucking G. He's a gamer. This guy fucking games, dude. If he
that
hits
preemptive spin. Oh, wow. Shit. Waiting for it. I feel like he hit it out there too.
Can you go on that territory out there or no?
No, it's lava. It's just like wall blocking.
What was he trying to do there?
Show his attack values after Heroic's procced, basically.
Oh, okay.
And then fucking just smashes this guy. Elatreon's very weak to KO and blunt on his horns. That's always been his thing. He's got big ass horns.
Yeah, he's got that thing at the top of his head.
Yeah.
His horns.
And then you do the what Hammer does, man, and you just fucking pound on him. And then you can see that also the AI in older games is pretty clunky and chunky.
It's okay.
Like, monsters always have to turn to look at you before they attack, which is kind of like the old gimmick.
That's awesome.
So you always, like, move just slightly so they have to turn. And then you could predict their next attack, basically. You
can even draw it out, huh? That's awesome.
Yeah, see, he had a turn, and that's why he preemptively did the swing. And he's going to turn around.
Wow. Pop. Oh, nice timing.
See, and that's what people like about the old Monster Hunter games, is you can predict the AI so super well. Because you know they're going to turn around when they need to hit you. So you just preemptively swing, and that's why old school Greatsword was all about just learning monster AI.
Wow.
That's it. Fucking done. Most of it was set up. There's 243 was...
That was hype as fuck. Aki always delivers the nastiness, dude.
Aki does.
We got Prey coming up next with a great sword.
Yes. So there's Prey. And then we'll start this one. Where do we want to start this one? 19 seconds in. Look good? As soon as he drops in?
Yeah, we can do that one.
All right. Let me know when you're ready.
Ready.
All right, let's go. So he just dropped into the arena. And this is old school Greatsword where you had to charge everything. Oh. This isn't like a super speed run, by the way, because Greatsword wasn't great Elatreon lock back then. But
the Elatreon lock.
This is more of an actual Electron run.
8 minutes for this shit?
Electron moves a lot. And then Greatsword is also not as fluid as it is in World, so...
Oh, bro, I can't watch an 8-minute run. I can't make it through that long. Oh my god.
I think it'll fly by.
What? 8 minutes? I love Prey. I'll make it through it. I'll do it.
I mean, dude, old school Greatsword is good stuff, dude. Prey knows what he's doing.
There's only one greatsword, and that's Ariel.
Nah, I mean, look how slow these swings are. You gotta know the AI and know when you can swing.
Gotta have a ledge. Need a ledge here somewhere.
Ledge.
Gotta have a ledge.
You should honestly play Gen or Gen U and play Ariel Greatsword for real and see how you like it.
I want to go back to base world.
I want to go back to base world. Also, Prey's really good at positioning those charges. He's really good on that. It's just he's not running heroics. I think base world is better than Iceborne. Even though the kill times were absolutely ridiculously fast, I think if we just tweaked base world... Dude, a lot of weapons were getting really fast times by the end of it. I think if we just tweaked it a bit, it would be way better. Like, could you imagine base game, but with, like, I would say almost Iceborne HP and stagger values? I think the game would be fantastic.
Absolutely.
Nice preemptive charge, because he has to turn around.
He's a beast.
So Alatreon's gimmick, if people don't know, is that he's a black dragon, which are like mythic tier dragons, and he uses all the elements but water. So he does ice, fire, dragon, lightning, and he has different phases that he changes his resistances and stuff. And you can see right now he's kind of got like icy horns, and he does dragon swipes and dragon charges. He's got all sorts of weird shit. Are these thunder horns? These might be thunder horns.
Death horns.
Death horns. I'm afraid of Alatreon and Iceborne because Iceborne's got a bad history of making just monsters have shit values because they want you to force that clutch claw.
Yes.
And Alatreon's going to change elements and have bad hit zones. It's like no one is going to have easy time on it except maybe Hammer, because Hammer should.
Hammer will always, because it's Ryozo's favorite weapon.
Yeah, right? Alatreon's just historically weak to Hammer. If it doesn't, oh my god, I'm going to feel really bad. Yeah, that's a whole lot of this. This is 8 minutes of Prey just prepping the charge for when he has to turn and just fucking smashing Alatreon in the face.
Just giving it to him.
And he's probably going to wait for him to charge or do an attack so he can sharpen because he's down the blue sharpness. There's the charge. Yep.
There it is.
And this was also before, like, For You Greatsword was a huge thing, like the crit draw style of For You.
Pulling it out and giving it a few fucking power slaps.
I mean, it's still a thing because that's just how you have to play Greatsword. Is you just have to sheath and do it. But Greatsword had a little bit more options than For You because they had Punish Draw, and you could just do the draw attack and not have to charge it too. A little different.
Gotcha.
Punish Draw is a cool skill that we don't have in World that I wish we did. It's where all your draw attacks get a little bit more stronger. I think you got like a little bit more of a modifier. And then they also got added KO.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah, so like Greatsword draw attacks would be able to do KO damage, and so you can stun monsters. It's pretty cool.
Sounds badass. That's, man, how come we didn't get like that kind of stuff? Like, it's odd that we didn't get that brought into these other games.
There's a lot of things that they could have done, like a lot of skills from Frontier that have been getting mainstreamed into Monster Hunter games. Like they could have done a lot more of those. Frontier's got some crazy fucking shit.
But, like, why wouldn't we get that stuff? Like, I don't know.
Well, I don't know. I think they don't want the audience having access to like weird stuff. Everything's pretty simple in World because it's more for casuals.
Sure.
So everything's just about stat increases, which is kind of boring. Like seriously, like everything in World is about a number increase, except
Sure.
Frostcraft. Frostcraft is legitimately a really cool skill. It's just on a bad set. Come on, Prey.
Give it to him, buddy. Come on. He can do it.
Now, you imagine this is an old game of Prey whipping on Electron for 8.5 minutes. Could you imagine what Iceborne Electron's going to be like?
Absolutely unacceptable. Absolutely unacceptable. We'll find a way to make it work, though.
So in older games, Electron's head sits really high up because, you know, he just stands that way. And I wonder how big he's going to be in Iceborne because monsters seem to scale really high in a World. Like, they just look bigger compared to the old games. And I wonder how high his head's going to be. Like, is anyone even going to be able to reach it normally?
With a ledge.
With a ledge? Yeah, probably.
I hope. I have no idea.
Still crushing his dome. He's almost done with this, though. But, like, look at the difference between what Heroic's Hammer did with Aki and then versus just regular Greatsword play with Prey. Like, the Heroics is that fucking good. I mean, Hammer is good in general because you can get stuns, so it's easier to lock Electron. But, I mean, Prey is a fucking god tier player, too. And
God tier. The highest
so,
level.
Just the difference between the two weapons and running Heroics and not, 6 minutes? It's fucking insane.
Yeah. That's how they set it up. It was like HPGs. You know what I mean? In current setup.
Well, I mean, to be fair, heavy bowgun has been like the best weapon forever, except like I think third or portable third, or maybe try one of those names. Other than that, heavy bowgun's pretty much always been the best weapon because it has no mobility, it has no defense. You just kind of have to deal with it, and then you just get all the damage for it. Oh, and then he did it. Okay. Crushed it. Good job, Prey. Nothing but greatsword swings. Good job. Now,
Just bring in the pain.
So that was the greatsword run.
Mm-hmm.
So the last one I have on here is Prey, again, running heavy bowgun. Now, here's the difference between running heavy bowgun and greatsword.
Mm-hmm.
So let's start at like 29 seconds in when he starts the quest.
Okay.
Ready?
29, and... Okay.
Okay. So this is old school heavy bowgun. Same player, and there's literally half the time. Less than half the time.
Less than half.
Looks like he's got the Matsu Magasuchi heavy bowgun. Wait, where's he going? I haven't actually seen this run. Did you have him bump into a wall? Okay, and so he's using pellet ammo, and then you got to realize pellet is not the same as spread. It replaced pellet. No, spread replaced pellet, and pellet is more. It shoots like a cone, and then that cone magnetizes to certain hit zones and does damage.
Okay.
And then he's running Siege, and Siege, look at that, clip size 20. You see at the top what this health bar is?
Mm-hmm.
That's the fucking clip size this heavy bowgun used to have. And so every time Electron bumps his head into the wall there, Prey is resetting to run more ammo, basically. He's just forcing Electron to bump his head into a wall. And you got the topple, which lasts no time at all in old games.
I was gonna say that was very quick.
Old games, monsters don't fall down very much. Like, World is very generous. Oh, manual combining. Ugh. What kind of cancer is that shit?
Not a fun one.
I'm surprised he can't... Can he get hit up there, actually?
Yeah. You definitely can.
This is kind of ridiculous.
You know, it's going to be interesting how they do that in World.
Right. Well, if he's got the topple like he does in this, but the topple lasts like fucking 8 seconds like it does in World, that's going to be kind of insane.
I hope he's not like that.
Dude, clip size 20 siege. I missed that.
The good stuff.
Yeah. Siege was cool because you couldn't move when you did it. It's what made heavy bowguns so, like, risk-rewardy. Now they don't have that. You can just kind of walk away from stuff, which is kind of lame. And now he's at a pierce, so he's... Oh, he did get hit. Boom.
Get hit.
Now, good old pierce.
Good old Pierce. Oh, so many conversations about Pierce.
I mean, it's pretty good now in Iceborne.
Now it is.
But yeah, in World it was hot garbage, and in old games it was all about Pierce. Now I'm actually glad to see that MO actually has a lot of good variety. Like, Pierce is good, Spread is good, Normal technically has its uses, Elemental is insane right now. Stickies are safe, but they're not exactly high DPS. Everything else is just kind of a joke, but yeah. And Prey fucking melted it. Okay, so that's what running Electron looks like in the older game. So if anyone wants to know, like current game, you could do the same fucking shit where you just fucking stagger lock monsters, and they can't do a whole lot about it.
Nope.
Great sword, not so much. That's kind of what the normal fights should look like, but we're not doing normal fights. Come on.
No, that would make too much sense.
So yeah, there's Electron. Hopefully he's a little bit different. I personally hate fighting Electron.
Not a fan.
Not a fan. Don't really know why. I didn't have too much of a problem fighting him, like in Gen U when he came back. I only played 3 a little bit. I never got to fight him in 3. But in Gen U, I just hated him a lot. He's just annoying. So
He's just a scoundrel.
Yeah. So hopefully he's a bit better in Iceborne. We'll see though.
I think that's everything we got for the night.
I think so too. So yeah. Happy Father's Day, everyone. Good talking to you, Jen. I will talk at you later, I guess.
No problem. Everybody have a good time. Stay safe, and thanks again for being here with us. Fem, talk to you soon, big guy.
Yeah. Peace, guys.